I always.
Hello, listeners. Welcome to the Among You podcast by Kuchu Times Media Group, a project supported by Uganda Key Populations Consortium under the Free to Be Me project. It is aimed at demystifying the myths around LGBTQ plus Ugandans by sharing how similar the Ugandan experience is, regardless of your gender or sexual orientation. We hope that these stories build allies out of you. Enjoy.
You are most welcome to the Among You podcast today. So unfortunately or fortunately today, my co-host is not feeling well. So I am alone. I'm going to enjoy myself today. Samantha is not around today. My name is Bana and I'll be taking you through today's podcast. So Among You is a podcast produced by Kuchu Times Media Group. And basically we are talking, sharing stories, engaging, having fun conversations around the lived experiences of queer people and how they relate with everyday Ugandans. Yeah. So I'm assuming that you don't know me. My name is Bana Mwesige. I am passionate about music. I'm passionate about art. I'm passionate about colorful things. I'm passionate about graphics design. I'm also very passionate about people, especially queer people. So yeah, you are most welcome to this podcast. And today we are having 3 amazing guests. So I would like them to introduce themselves.
Hello, hi everyone. My name is Sean, and I'm glad to be here with Bana and everyone else.
Sean, what do you do? What are you passionate about?
I'm passionate about success. I'm passionate about myself. I'm passionate about food. Let me say yes. Mm-hmm. And fellow non-binary people and queer people in general.
All right. Yeah. Yes. Our next guest.
Okay, hi. My name is Dracula. I'm a Ugandan non-binary pansexual.
Wow.
I'm very.
Please break that down. That down further.
So I'm non-binary as gender. That's my gender, and I'm pansexual. I get sexually and emotionally attracted to people, regardless of their gender. I like people because they are people. As long as I find you attractive, I don't care about your gender.
Okay.
It's going down. I'm very passionate about movies. It's like my first love. Movies have been my first love. And because of that, I got into writing. I'm a novelist. I write poems, I write plays, and I've started composing movies. I also write songs, most especially hip-hop. I'm obsessed with rap. Nikki all the way. I'm also passionate about, trying to set up something that makes queer people comfortable. It not necessarily a large scale thing, as in anything that makes queer people comfortable. It could be therapy, talking to them, helping them. I'm also passionate about my mother. I love that woman so much.
Mama.
She has been through so much
like
because of
for
me.
Us, we don't have ours.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And I'm also very passionate about everyone who is passionate to me.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello everyone. Ira. That's who I am. I'm Ira. She, her, they, them. Gorgeous, beautiful, and tall. I'm a loving person. I love everyone regardless of whatever energy you come with. I will love you regardless. Yeah. I don't know what I'm passionate about. I think I'm just loving and making friends is what really defines me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you, Ira, and thank you, everyone. I want us to just dive in right into today's topic. Today, we're going to be having a conversation about identities. Identities, by me, I mean gender identities and sexual identities. Recently, I had a conversation with a straight friend of mine, and they kept saying, you know what, every day I can't keep up with people saying, oh, today I'm non-binary, today I'm intersex. I don't understand this stuff. So I also don't understand how to address you. I don't understand, like, if you are they, them, now how am I going to call you? And one thing I gave them I just told them is it's a simple matter of respect. If it's like, say, if you meet an old woman on the street, you do not call her a young woman, or you do not call her any random name. You call her Nyabo or Basebo, and you greet her respectfully. Yeah. So I think it's just a matter of human respect. So if someone wants to be referred to by a certain pronoun, it's just simple courtesy and simple respect. But then I think the confusion comes in when the way someone presents themselves is not the way the person in their head thinks that they should present themselves, and that's why they get confused with pronouns and everything. So the easiest way to get around that is to just say Bana, just call them by their name. Yeah, if you can't call them, if this pronoun thing is annoying you and it's disturbing you, you call them by their name. Anyway, so I'm curious about because you guys mentioned your pronouns, you mentioned all this stuff. I'm curious, what is your experience when you meet some people and they probably misgender you, or they probably think you're a man or you're a woman or whichever gender based on how you appear? How is that experience for you? I could start with Dracula.
Well, for me, it has been a very long journey of changes for me. So I remember back in 2019, I was identifying as a transgender woman when I had just met Sean. I think I identified as a transgender woman because I thought that you either have to be something connected to a woman or a man.
Yeah.
But when I went on discovering things, in most especially movies, and then I realized that there is something called gender diversity.
Yeah.
The gender non-fluid, the gender non-conforming, the non-binary people come in. When I realized that there is something like that, I started feeling like I'm not a man, I'm not a woman. And I was like, I always felt that, but I didn't have a name for it.
Yeah.
But then when I got the name for it, I was like, hey, this is what I've always been feeling.
Yeah.
And ever since I started identifying as non-binary, I've seen a balance in my masculinity and feminine side.
Yeah.
And what that has caused is people calling me confused. I am not confused. I am simply not a man and not a woman. I am non-binary.
Yeah.
And it pisses me most of the time when I try to explain to people and I'm non-binary and they're like, what does that mean? And I'm like, I don't identify as a woman. I don't identify as a man. Then they're like, then what are you?
Yeah.
Then I tell them I'm non-binary. And then they're like, so you are confused?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm not confused. I've just rid myself of the complication of gender.
Yeah.
The complication of the gender binary.
Yeah.
So that's what most people think, that being non-binary is being confused.
Yeah.
And then problems come with the pronoun part.
Yeah.
When you call yourself a they, them, and they're like, what if I want to put that in a sentence? How am I going to say? Then I'm like,
so the problem is now language.
yeah, language. So I try to state it out for them that maybe if you're talking about me, you say, Dracula is over there. They are hungry.
Yeah.
Dracula is not talking because they are pissed at something. And they're like, it doesn't make sense. You are one person.
Yeah.
Why are you calling yourself a they? And I'm like, being non-binary rids me of using a gender pronoun. So I have to use like a gender neutral pronoun.
Yeah.
Like they, them. So it does not come about the plural and singular thing.
Yeah.
Just call me a they, them.
Yeah.
And they're all confused.
And in everyday life, sometimes when you're referring to someone and you don't know their gender, yeah, there are some names which go on both genders, and maybe someone called you and you don't know whether they are male or female, so you say they called me. Yeah.
Yeah.
The person at Airtel called me, and then you refer to them as they because you don't know their gender. So like in everyday life, we actually do it unconsciously. And it's the same thing. I feel like it's the same thing. If you do it unconsciously on someone whom you're assuming you don't know the gender, so you don't want to say he or him or she or her.
And sometimes I like equating this to make it easier. I like equating it to talking about someone anonymous.
Yeah,
For example, when you receive a message from someone anonymous, you not give them a gender. You'll be like, they texted me. They were saying this and this.
Yeah.
That's like the easiest explanation I always give to those people, but they do not understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Sean, I've known you for a while, and there are some people. I remember when there's sometimes when you're very, very masculine, and then sometimes when you're very feminine. So when people see your masculine side, they're like, Abadechi, what did you eat today? Yeah. So how do you balance, or do you think there's a balance, or you're just you depending on the moment?
I won't say a balance, but most of the times maybe like it depends on like which side am I waking up at that following morning. I may wake up today and I feel like that energy of masculinity in me. Yeah, as Dracula said back in 2019 when we had just met, me I had like found out what my gender is, because I was exposed to the things maybe at an early age. And like when I met Dracula, I remember we used to even have fights all over, them being a trans person. And I was like, no, you're not. Like we used to have fights. I remember we were auditioning at some modeling campaign, and this guy was telling us we should showcase and do everything like that. But then this guy told us we have to like maybe model the way we want, walk the way we want, walk the runway the way we want, but like he was giving us specific rules. Yes, walk like this, you have to walk like this, or what together. And that really used to piss me off a lot. And I used to even have fights with Dracula and everyone. I was like, no, they cannot tell us to do this and this. It was really like a tough moment for like me, and we were two of us, and at home I would really go through a lot, waking up on this other side, then waking up on this other side, waking up and you paint your nails, waking up and you put on wigs, and people were really confused. Till now people are really confused that sometimes I decide to keep my beards on, sometimes I decide to shave them all, and it's really confusing. So I really go through a lot, but regardless, I have to educate some people, tell them that this is who I am and nothing is going to change. Don't expect change in the meantime. It's going to stay there. And
I think that's proof that even queer people sometimes don't understand each other. Back then, I didn't have a balance between my masculinity and femininity. So when we were auditioning for that model thing, Sean was like, I'm going to do this like a man. And he walked down the runway like a man. And I couldn't. And he was like holding a grudge onto me for that. He was like, why can't you just fake being a man for once? And I'm like, I can't. And he was pressurizing me. We had a very big fight about that thing.
And then I remember I even like told them that, I told them that I'm going to curse. Like I told them that you have a dick, and I don't know what went into my mind, but I felt like I was being, that internalized homophobia in me. It jumped in at that moment, and I was like, you have this and this, you cannot do this.
Yeah, and I remember at some point he was like, so when a teacher comes in class and it's like, oh boys, stand up and walk out, you remain seated.
Yeah.
So at some point I feel like we are also ignorant about our own selves. It's also internal, and I feel like there should be a lot of sensitization and like teaching to these queer kids out there, because they actually feel these things but they don't have a name for it.
I want to go to Ira, but before I go to Ira, there is something you guys mentioned which was very, very interesting. I think it's a struggle not even just for queer people, but even for other people who identify as straight. Because there are people whom they say, "Banai wafana na mama ono mumalayo yenna." And that is just genetics, and it has nothing to do with their sexual identity or whom they sleep with. It's just how they look, and sometimes and so many people, even when they're straight, they when they have that thing, they try to overcompensate now. Yeah, me personally, I used to also overcompensate. Like you walk with a bounce, like that. Yeah. So anyway, back to the topic. So Ira, are there instances where that you know of you or your friends that you see like people get confused and they sort of want you to be masculine or feminine in that moment?
I remember in is it 2020 or 2021? If you met me then, you can't tell it's me right now. I was actually like a man. And I didn't want anyone calling me she. I wanted to identify as a he then. But with time, I realized for me to love women, I didn't need to be a he, sorry.
Yeah.
So it's there are very many times when people have to tell me, but okay, I have friends who used to call me brother man. They'll be like, blaza man, sarao jogwa. You get like, choose where you fall, like you woman or you a man. Tukuite blaza, tukuite
sister,
tukuite kamama. So I'm like, honestly speaking, I'm a woman. I'm a woman. I identify as a woman. I'm a woman who loves women.
Yeah.
And there's no point at which I want to be a man who loves a woman.
Yeah.
So it really gave me a very hard time. The fact that I'm masculine, as you can see. Okay, I wake up sometime and you find me in a dress and I'm feminine. I don't know how to do those things, but I'll try. But
do you do like makeup and stuff?
by the way, I'm very beautiful with makeup. It's your surprise. I've done it like twice on my birthday, and I don't know what I've done it twice.
Once a year.
Always the first step to being feminine is saying girl. It's like the first step.
Whenever I do makeup, I'm more masculine. I do makeup and I will be masculine. I'll still wear I'll be a stud. I'll wear trousers and you'll tell that I'm masculine even with my makeup.
Yeah. Wow.
So I'll be honest with you, it's a very hard one if it's if people are trying to make you or force you to identify yourself when you've not identified yourself as a person. Yeah. So if you walk up and you're like, I am pansexual. Yeah. Then that's who you are. Even if you explain to 100 people that are not going to understand it, they won't understand it. Yeah. But if that's what you feel, if you feel like today I've woken up like a man, today I've woken up like a woman, today I'm feminine, today I'm masculine, that's who you are. And everyone is going to keep on getting confused. I'll tell you, I walk in town, like you see how I'm dressed like right now in my shorts. Yeah. These are even the longest shorts I have now.
And they are really short. By the way, for those who can't see, they are really short.
Yes, and people will still ask yourself, I'm not bouncing. Yeah. I'm walking like, I don't feel like I'm bouncing, but someone will be like, why are you masculine? Yeah. See? So I think it's a matter of identifying yourself as who you are and how you feel at that moment. Yeah. That's why I say she, her, they, them. Yeah. Tosobola manya kukira negamba so computer chaliwo ndi chaliwo tujabonga. If I wake up and I'm in my feminine phase, call me your girlfriend. If my partner calls me hubby or daddy, I'll be like, cool, that's the time. Yeah. So
you go with the flow.
I flow with whatever comes in my path as long as I'm in the right path.
Yeah. I'm curious to know, is there do you believe that every human being has a feminine side and a masculine side?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Definitely.
Let me give an example of a friend of mine. So we were at a certain party, this straight guy, a friend of ours. So they put a certain song. And out of the blue, this dude stood up and he started twerking. I didn't have feelings for that guy because he was straight. But from that moment, the way I used to look at him, I'm like, okay, wow. Okay. And another thing where when we say, I woke up like this, I want to be this, it's not that I've decided. No, it's that feeling that I have inside me.
Yeah.
And like most of the times people confuse that thing. You're just deciding.
Yeah.
And you're just making a choice.
Yeah.
Honey, it's not. I just feel that way. I feel like I woke up feeling this way, and that's that day I'm going to feel that specific, gender.
Yeah.
About that thing of everyone having a feminine part to them, I'm going to give an example of my dad. He's one of the alpha masculine men I know. But when he's disgusted, it's a real woman. It's like, like a real woman. His disgusted face is like a woman's face. Everything he does when he's disgusted, most especially when he smells silver fish.
Yeah.
He's like, oh my God, this is
Yeah.
I'm like, is this a G?
Actually, you can tell most people's feminine side, especially people who are scared of like rats or cockroaches.
Yeah.
Then you'll see them jumping. You see them jumping and they'll be like, oh my God. And
like,
and then after that they compose themselves properly.
Yeah.
And like, have you seen like real feminine women, cisgender women, who laugh like men?
Yeah.
I have seen them.
I have an example.
Yeah.
I usually tell my friends the story. There is a day, a guy called my mom, and she's like, "I'm looking for this one and this one," and then she's like, "I'm the person," and then the guy's like, "Sebo, so I gotta cook it now."
Yeah.
And she's like, "But I'm the person," and it's because her voice is big. I admire my mother's voice. It's big.
It's deep, eh?
Oh God, and beautiful.
Pansexual, that's a turn on for me.
So
You like deep voices.
Yeah, even if it's from a woman.
Ooh.
Oh God, it's so
I
beautiful.
feel like I'm going to take you back where we're like identifying someone, where you said, someone asobola okufanana, maybe like the parent, maybe the mom. I had this friend of mine. He looked like her mom. His mom, her mom, I don't know. But whenever you would say you look like ladies, this dude would literally slap you.
And yet yafanana mama yena
Yeah,
malayo.
Now malayo yena like ngatachaga
Even the
ila
hips
kodala.
and the bums and everything.
Everything.
Are you talking about Joe?
Oh my
Oh my God. So I used to work with this guy at school, and people are like, why is that chick cribbing in the boys' dormitory? You see him bathing from the back, and it's a back view of a very sexy woman, probably Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
He had a very botched butt.
I don't know, but at that same point, we used to think that maybe like he used to take maybe like phaco
to enlarge the butt.
to enlarge the butt and the hips, and whenever I would walk with them, would get free like transportation from this boda guy, thinking that like he's a lady.
Yeah.
But I don't know how. Okay, I know we always go through different phases where like we are confused and everything like that. But till now, like he's really confused that in the moment that we have not seen each other for like 2 years, actually we say like still finding out.
Still finding out what am I doing? Yeah.
Yes.
So I think we all like Ira mentioned something about makeup. Yeah. There are some things we do, and I'm curious to know from your personal experience and from experiences of others. There are some things we do to enhance our masculine side or our feminine side. So I'll give an example. For me personally, I wouldn't call it the feminine or the masculine side. I don't know. But whenever I'm feeling like in the feels, I get bright ear piercings. Yeah. So if you see my ear piercings and they are shining, you know that day I'm feeling flamboyant. I'm feeling on top of the world. Yeah. And then I'll do my hair in a certain way. I have long dreads. So this is the standard way. But when I'm feeling different, I let it loose and it, yeah. So
Like this.
Yeah.
so I don't know. Are there, and also like are there telltale signs not telltale signs? Sorry, I used the wrong term. Are there things that people do unconsciously that bring out their masculinity or their femininity?
Yeah. For me, I realize I'm being masculine when I put my hands in the pocket. So most of the chicks I hang out with are, why are you sounding like a man? When I look at myself, Both my palms are in my pockets.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That's like a reflex thing I do when I'm, most especially when I'm feeling insecure, when I'm in like a very homophobic situation. I'm like, God, I have to turn this down. I just put my hands in the pocket,
Yeah.
bend my back down a little bit for the butt to disappear. And I talk less actually
Yeah.
when I'm being masculine.
Oh.
Yes, so
Do you deepen your voice? Like, hi.
My voice is deep. I only cut it low when I want it to be low. Like, hi guys, how are you feeling?
Because I remember there is someone. Okay, this is an unfortunate situation. So we were arrested at one point, and when you are in prison, like everyone, yeah, even the poor, like hi, they were like hi. Yeah. So like there is someone we knew who was very flamboyant. Even if you told them what, they would still remain. So the policeman called the person, and the person went in like straight like this. It's like, hello, how are you? Then the guy replied, okay, so you're going to tell us your name and what you are doing here. I don't know these people. Like you like I was shocked. Everyone was like, yeah, is this a person you have been knowing? So sometimes like situations call for you to like change how you like how you behave. Sean, is there any
me, okay, like most of my friends know me in that feminine side. Like, okay, I always give them that energy. Everyone wants to be close to me. I want to be close to Sean because, you know, Sean is making my day. And I only bring out my masculine side whenever I'm insecure and whenever I'm like, maybe like walking, getting a judge, going into like those public places where, you know, people are going to judge me for just because I'm behaving in a different way. And I don't always forget that this is, you know, this is Uganda, and, you know, people overthink of different things. People are very homophobic, and it's not that country that's really welcoming and friendly with, you know, us non-binary people.
Yeah.
So, on the other hand, I feel like maybe I'm forcing things, but then I don't have a choice. I just have to go with the culture and their norms of what together. So most of the times when I'm in a space and, you know, I feel that, you know, everyone is looking at me, you know, these straight people. And let me tell you this story. So I had a friend of mine, but, you know, when you're going to buy maybe weed in a certain place, those straight people are the one who sell weed. You'll never find, okay, most of the times you find maybe like queer people, but they're in that masculine state of together. And like whenever I used to tell my friends, can I go with you? And they were like, no, Shawnee, you're like a girl, you cannot go with us. I'm like, okay, try me and see. So the first time we went there, they were shocked that I was bouncing. I was, yo, Jebaleko, you know, that stuff like that. And they were even laughing at me. Like I was talking and they were laughing at me. So we went back home and we were like, Gwe, Bulijoli blaz about. And I was like, yeah, but you know, the things come out. Yes. Whenever I feel insecure and everything like that. But if it wasn't that, I would go on my own terms. I would be this, I would be this, I would feel like this. But then most of the times I'm just forcing the masculinity in me. Yeah.
So Ira, is are there some things people do or that you do that you see that enhances your masculine side or your feminine side? It could be unconscious, it could be conscious.
I think okay, let me see. I think for my feminine side to really come out is maybe when I'm going to meet my family. Yeah, you know, family at least. When I'm going to meet my family, trust me. Okay, I won't be so masculine. Nainja kusula kodira. And I'll try to walk.
Oh, you are Muslim, eh?
No, I'm Catholic, and though I'm a Catholic, but doesn't mean long things make me comfortable. Also when they're like dresses, those things make me comfortable. But when you find me in my free time, I'm anything at any time.
Yeah.
The other thing that can really bring out my masculinity is when I meet a group of studs. There's a way it pushes me to
Like,
just
be like,
show
bro,
them that,
be like,
yo,
bro.
Ni mtu, Wendy. Don't overshadow me.
Yeah.
But I think those are the times that really bring out different sides of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Honestly, when I'm with studs, baja kumpita blaza man. When I'm with my family, I'm a very humble woman. And when I'm with my partner or my other friends that know me, I'm anything at any
Depending
time.
on, yeah. Okay. So just to wrap up, any last shots about this conversation, parting shots before we close, because our time is running out. Maybe we'll start with Dracula and then Ira and then Sean, then I'll close.
Okay, personally for me, I would like to say that there needs to be a lot of sensitization about gender identity.
Yeah.
Because there is this misconception that gender identity is tied to sexual identity and sexual role in bed.
Oh, God.
You can identify as a he, him, and still be
God.
the person receiving the submissive one in
I
bed.
didn't know this conversation. I was going to go there.
Okay? So I feel like there should be a lot of sensitization.
Yeah.
Queer people should be taught these things, because when I stand up in public and I'm like, I'm pansexual, and even when I'm having sexual intercourse with a woman, I'm still submissive. I am not going to be dominant over this woman. I'm not going to penetrate her. People are going to look at me as someone crazy.
Yeah.
But it's okay, because that's what I want.
Yeah.
So I feel like there should be a lot of sensitization. People should be taught. They should be taught to normalize these things.
Yeah.
People like what they like because they like what they like, and people should respect that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, Ira.
I would say one thing to all my fellow queer people: if you wake up like a man, be a man. If you wake up like a woman, be a woman. Just be yourself and be happy. No one loves you more than you love yourself.
Yeah.
And believe in yourself. Like wazukanga ekitote ekikuli mu mutwe yambala. Wazukanga limpale eri ku mutwe ngekuli mu mutwe yambala. As long as you keep yourself safe.
Yeah.
And one more last remark: please be safe.
Yeah.
Not everyone out there is happy that you're happy to be yourself. People buying in nugu because they were forced into marriages that they weren't ready to have. So please be safe and I'm telling you the fact. Be safe and love yourself. No one loves you more than you love yourself.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. First of all, I'm going to first thank my late granny, because if it wasn't her, I would have not been this open to myself, because she's the only person that used to understand me. Like, I would wake up feeling in a certain way and she would realize immediately. We'd even paint nails together, but this world is not fair that, you know, she went too soon. And yeah, as Dracula said, we need more sensitization. We need to educate this young generation, because I do have a belief, and I know. I remember when I had gone to visit Dracula when they was still schooling, and when they told me that those people that I was seeing, the non-binary people, they were Form 1 student, I was really shocked. I was like, okay, that generation is really, you know, not really exposed. People don't know what to do. Like, and even in terms of health, I feel like, okay, this is Uganda and we won't put posters everywhere that this is how you have to use this, it's how you to use this. So I feel like we should try our best. And the last thing, be who you are, be happy, eat what you want, look
how you want to look.
Look how you want to look. So thank you very much for this podcast, and I do really appreciate it.
Yeah, but now one last thing from me, just to put it out there. Being pansexual does not make me a slut. I am not a slut.
Honey, you are.
We need to have a sex conversation one time.
We do.
like me other day. I
Yes,
really
yes,
have very
yes.
many sex
We
things
need to
talk about.
have a sex conversation.
Yeah, we really do.
Okay, thank you guys very much. Thank you for honoring our invite. And my passing shots are the same as everyone else. Even if you're straight, even if you're gay, even if you're bisexual, even if you're what, if you wake up in the morning and you want to put on that beautiful dress, you want to do that nice hair, that makeup, whatever it is you want to do, be you, as long as it makes you happy and it makes you authentic to who you are in that moment. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to us. Catch us next time. And to follow this podcast journey at Kuchu Times Radio, find on our website at www.kuchutimes.com and all our social media platforms.